Good morning. I apologize for the poor lighting. I'm doing this very early in the morning. But we are learning this week about Parashat Ba'alotcha. And in Parashat Ba'alotcha, this is the parasha in which the Jewish people leave Mount Sinai, around which they've been encamped for more than a year. They now depart, and their departure does not go terrifically well. In fact, it's filled with all kinds of complaints and dissatisfactions. The Jewish people complain, they are unhappy about the food. It says, this is in the chapter number 11, verse number 4. The multitude that was amongst them, had a desire, and the children of Israel once again began to cry, who will give us meat? So the Jewish people are complaining about the lack of meat. They want a broad flesh. They do not want to have to settle for this manna, which they say is insubstantial, is difficult, is not nice. There's a whole discussion amongst the commentaries. Was manna indeed supreme and ultimate food, or did it actually leave one feeling hungry in some way, as they speak about, as the Jewish people complain? In other words, was there some basis to their complaint? And it was certainly wonderful, but did it fulfill all of your emotional needs? And the Jewish people complain about it, and Hashem says, all right, so He will give them meat. He'll give them meat in the form of quail, this bird that's going to come for an entire month. They're going to be eating this meat, but it comes with a cost to it also. It's not without consequence. And that is that the Gemara tells us towards the end of that chapter, verse 33, the meat was still between their teeth. It had not yet was not yet finished. The af Hashem charav and the anger of Hashem fled against the nation. And Hashem smote the nation with a very mighty blow. So, in other words, many people of those who had complained died. They called the name of that place the Graves of Desire, because there they buried the people who craved. So there had been these people who craved the meat, they demanded the meat, complained about the manna. Hashem gave them meat, but before they'd even finished eating their meat, He killed them. So, the question the Maggid of Dubna asks is that this is called Kivrot HaTa'avah, the graves of desire, while what you would have expected is that it would be called Kivrot HaMit'avim, the graves of the desirers, the graves of those who desired. After all, surely desire itself was not buried there. Surely it was the people who desired who were buried there. And his answer is that this was a lesson to the Jewish people about the dangers of desire, about where desire takes you, about how you can spend your life in this world lusting and craving and wanting more and whatever it is, but that actually is something, as the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avot, Kina ve'atava ve'akavod motzi'in et ha'adam min ha'olam, that jealousy, desire, and the lust for honor take a person out of the world. These are not investments in this world. We think that we crave for something, that craving is satisfied, and we feel good. This is, as a Brazilian friend of mine said, this is what's life about. Right? We think that's what's life about. That life about is fulfilling those desires, satisfying those cravings, meeting all the things about which you're ambitious. The Torah is telling us here, doesn't always end that way. Doesn't always end with a person feeling satisfied and a sense of accomplishment. It depends what you're striving for. If what you want is something related to jealousy, desire, honor, doesn't work. Doesn't satisfy you. In fact, it kills you. And this was the realization that the people had. This was the recognition that they were given. They were called the graves of desire because desire itself was seen to be something destructive and evil. Desire itself, to an extent, was buried here, was put to rest. And a related idea, Rabbi David Aaron speaks about the fact that he says ultimately these things don't motivate us. Ultimately we feel an emptiness if all we want, if all you live for in life is a bra place, you know that there's something missing. Ultimately what drives us is meaning, is spiritual goals, is our relationship with Hashem, is building something in the world. And so when people lose that so completely, when they are living in the desert with Hashem, with the Mishkan, the tabernacle, with Moshe as their teacher, we're receiving this heavenly food, when they have all of that, the ultimate spiritual ambitions are being met. And yet, they're complaining about the food. They've completely missed the point. They're so unaligned in life that it seems in this case there was no way to bring them back. They've lost the point so completely that it can only be resolved or atoned through their deaths, and perhaps they'll start again in another lifetime. But maybe this is that other lifetime. Maybe we are them. And we have to learn that lesson in the consumer society, in the world of craving and wanting. Craving and satisfying desires does not give you life. In fact, the contrary. Please God, we should all have good and fulfilling lives filled with investment in what is truly worthwhile and satisfying to us. Have a wonderful Shabbos.